Thanks, man. So we'll keep it pretty casual. How many of you, just give me an idea, like, are going after like entrepreneurship and wanting to start your own business at some point? Okay, a few, 3. How many of you want to work within startups? Maybe not start your own, but kind of come alongside other types of startups. Some of you. What about the rest? What else you got going? What do you got?
I'm with ASU Wellness. I'm a student intern.
Okay.
So I'm just kind of keen to see what this event is like. So I'm in health education and health promotion, so planning programs for that.
Cool. Now I know someone that just, you can apply like all of this into kind of startup culture, mentality, et cetera. A lot of times in entrepreneurship, right, there are a lot of people that aren't considering their wellness, and so I've actually met some people that are taking a lot of that into startups in pretty like radical ways. I mean, they're implementing, if you go to the big startups in town, they have the coolest stuff going on, right? You got like, all the food and wellness bars, you got like yoga going on, like, midway, you got napping going on. So you can kind of apply this into all you're doing. What are you focused on? What are you going to be doing? Yeah?
I'm looking for I'm actually Japanese.
Yes?
So I'm looking for a Japanese company here.
For a Japanese company here? Excellent. And what about yourself? Yeah?
Okay. I'm majoring in business entrepreneurship. I'm really interested in the gaming industry.
Okay.
I want to work in the gaming industry because I'm considering starting my own gaming company in the future.
Yeah.
But first I want to get a feel for it.
So like indie games, mobile games, some type of console.
Typically the Square Enix, like Final Fantasy.
Okay. Cool. What about you guys? What do you guys got going? Okay. Just software engineering, mechanical. Okay. Excellent. What kind of company do you want to start? Yeah.
I'm actually double majoring in professional flight and business aviation management.
Okay.
So I'm looking to go into like something with the airport, business, airports.
Nice. What about you guys?
I'm an electrical engineer, or becoming one, but I started reading a lot about entrepreneurship and it's pretty cool.
Okay. Awesome. And yourself?
I'm in electrical engineering, and I'm just interested in the topic, but not necessarily in immediately starting a startup or working for one now.
Sure. Well, it's good. I think there's a lot happening in Phoenix. How many of you are actually like in-state students? Grew up here? Okay, so about half of you. Where are the rest of you from? Kind of Japan? Nevada. Awesome. Okay, so kind of all on the West Coast. Well, there's a lot going on just within kind of Phoenix as a whole, and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I kind of got my start in digital marketing, is where I started, and then I started a company and I sold it kind of in the media space, and it was a social media review service and grew on the backs of Twitter, had a few 100,000 users, and then sold that to Mashable in 2009. And then I started another company, and that one failed. And then I started another company, ran that one for 4 years, sold that one, and I really just was kind of like, hey, what's happening within Phoenix, and how can we support what's already happening here? Because there's a lot of great stuff happening. So I'll talk a little bit about that and YesPHX. So started this hashtag, YesPHX. What is that? Really, it kind of came over cigars with some great investors, founders, and we were just talking about everything that was happening here, and yet there's this kind of problem. You guys probably experienced this even on campus, right? Such a big campus. You don't know everything that's happening on campus. It's almost impossible to know everything that's happening on campus, even a campus of this size, let alone then you got Tempe and you got downtown and you have all these different kind of pieces. And that was what was happening kind of in the city and within the startup ecosystem as well. And so we said, hey, you know what, let's just start this hashtag. So went home, wrote some copy, got a site up there, and really we had kind of 3 core pieces of the mission out of the gate. I'll talk about them real briefly. Basically, it was to amplify what was already happening within the community, clarify a lot of the vision that we have for Phoenix. And when I say Phoenix, I'm not talking just the confines of that city. I'm talking about greater Phoenix, right? I'm talking about Mesa and Chandler and Tempe and Scottsdale, in the same way that when you talk about other kind of markets, when you say, Dallas area, you're talking about Fort Worth, and you're talking about all these other places. San Francisco, same thing, right? You're talking about Oakland, the Bay Area, San Jose. And then lastly, kind of given the fact that we are all sprawled out and there is so much, unify a lot of that collective ecosystem. So really the amplify piece went pretty well. We got 12,000 Twitter followers, got thousands of people, using the hashtag to talk about and amplify what is happening here within the startup ecosystem. So the next thing was kind of clarifying, hey, what is this vision? How is it that Phoenix can be distinct and its own thing rather than just copying all of these other ecosystems? And so really that as a community, we decided, hey, what is it that we already are representing, but also how is it that we can find some aspiration and something to aspire to as well? And really what that was is being the world's most generous community for entrepreneurs. I think that's distinctive. It's something that not a lot of people are talking about. And that generosity kind of comes from us giving of our own time, giving of our own, obviously, money, support, resources, everything that we can do to support a lot of the entrepreneurs that are within Greater Phoenix. And so then the last piece is really to just bring all those people together and pieces together, which is something that will always be in motion. But some of the things that have happened is we've started, are you guys familiar with Slack as a technology? Pretty cool technology. It's basically like chat, but kind of private chat. And we have like 250 people from all parts of the Arizona ecosystem, from government to investors to founders to some students to all different types of people, saying, hey, what is it that we can do to kind of further things along? Dinners came along, foundation came along to really kind of invest. It's getting launched called the Startup AZ Foundation, which is a philanthropic fund to really move the ball forward for Phoenix, and a lot more exciting things. Did any of you guys hear about or attend Phoenix Startup Week earlier this year? So we had about 2,500 people, I think, this year. This coming year, about 6,000. You guys can save the date, February 22nd to the 26th. We'll have about 6,000 people out, and we're going to finish it off with a pub crawl down Mill Avenue. So you're all welcome, February 26th. But really, what this marked in me personally was a change. I think in running my own startups and businesses, sometimes we just get heads down in the same way that we do as students or in anything really, right? And you're just focused on the tasks at hand rather than looking up and saying, hey, what's going on around me? And so I decided to really just start kind of asking this really stupid, rote, simple question with every person that I met. And I was meeting a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people from these ecosystems, but just asking, how can I help you? Now, that's a question we get asked a lot, and a lot of times you can tell when people ask, hey, how can I help you? It's like, you're just asking that because you're also expecting to get something. But this really started just from a very sincere place. And here's a few things that I learned kind of from this question in asking it to just hundreds and, lots of people over the course of the last year and a half or so, is that there are kind of three things. One, that are foundational to a stronger community, and one is care. And so in asking this question, I think it really does start in a place of your heart and having a care, a genuine care, a sincere care for other people. And I think a lot of people think care looks kind of like this, which is freaking awesome. I mean, that is like a cool picture anyway. But, I think actually care just looks a little bit more like this. And it really is just saying, hey, you know what? What's going on around me? And let me not be so inward focused, but let me get the blinders off and look up and look around me and say, what's going on? And having a genuine care for other people and for your city at large, your community at large. I think the other thing that's really fundamental for just a stronger community is connection. And I think a lot of times, especially in the business world, once you get out there and you're just passing out business cards and, you get into kind of rooms like this and people think that connection looks like this, right? And, you probably like that, right? As students too, big parties, a lot of people, meet a lot of people all at once. But I really do think connection has to look more like this. So it's really, it demands that we kind of dive deeper and really understand what's going on with that person, where they've come from, what it is they care about, so that you can make a difference, so that you can truly listen and help them without necessarily the expectation of receiving anything back in return. And I think that the third thing is really courage, especially for startups and for anything in life. I mean, you guys are, in school now, and you're going to be breaking out into the world, and I'm sure there's a little bit of even, fear or concern about, hey, am I going to get the job that I want? How long is it going to take to find that perfect position? I mean, a lot of those concerns. Well, we always have different concerns at different stages and seasons of life. And I think a lot of times we think courage looks like this, that it looks like we have to kind of just suck it up and be this lone gunman and go out there and do whatever it is that we're setting out to do. But I think that courage looks a lot more like this. I think it really does, understand that we need each other, that we can't do this thing, whatever it is, alone. And I'm talking about startups, entrepreneurship, because that's hard. It's really hard. But life in general, finding a job, finding whatever it is that you're setting out to do, it really demands that we have relationships that are deep, that we're connected with, that we care for other people, even above ourselves. And as we do that, as we understand that we need each other, that is what fosters a much stronger community. It impacts not just ourselves, not just our immediate community, but it really does have ripple effects out into the larger community as a whole. And it's really that's just some of the stuff I've learned in this. It's pretty simple. It's not that hard to really start. I think it really just starts from a place of saying, I am setting out to make an impact not just for myself, but for others. And here's the interesting thing that I found. In really starting and saying, you know what? I don't care what I get back for this. A lot of people are like, how can you spend so much time just going out into the community, helping others, not getting paid for that, whatever it might be? I spend about 30 to 35% of my time just in the community and trying to help others in whatever way I can. It really does pay dividends. Now, that's not the reason I do it. That's not the reason I started doing it. But it really does come back. And it's just, it's amazing to see the impact it has on your own life, let alone your community's life. That's really it. And then just figured, open it up, ask questions about the Phoenix startup scene and what's happening here. I can answer any of that. And whatever I can do to help you too. That's it.
Cheers, Jonathan. When I say Hopscotch,
Yeah.
Could you tell a little bit before about
No.
Hopscotch and what you're doing there, the team
Yeah.
that you've been building?
Sure. Yeah, I'm on my 5th startup now. 3 or so have been successful, 2 haven't been as successful. What I'm focused on now, we launched something called Hopscratch. And our tagline is how entrepreneurs start. But what we do is we make it easy for entrepreneurs to start their business the right way in less than 2 weeks. So we've created technology that automates the process of getting everything necessary for your business to get started. So we incorporate your business, we get your EIN set up, we get your bank account set up, we get your domains registered, We get your email and calendar set up, your accounting software. Basically, in all, there are about 14 to 15 different services that we deliver. And at the end of that, you get a beautiful business in a box with your business cards printed, letterhead, some other kind of fun goodies that just make it feel nice and real as a business. So we just launched that service back in September, and just going after it again. It's a way for me to scale helping entrepreneurs. Yes?
How much does that cost the entrepreneur?
That business in a box, well, we have a lot of different services that'll be rolling out over time. That service is $499 a month for 12 months or $299 a month for 30. It's like a phone contract if you think about it kind of that way. But all the infrastructure, we're one bill. So all the different services that come along with that, your email, your websites, your business cards, you don't have to worry about paying for that. We're just one bill for you.
So at something like Phoenix Startup, it's very network-based, so you go around and you talk to people. Let's say I want to try to get involved in a startup. Do I just simply ask, hey, do you have a startup? Hey, can I get involved?
That's a great question. How do you get involved in a startup? Definitely, I mean, by first exploring. I mean, there's no better time to explore, than as a student. And I think getting involved in the startup ecosystem, there are a ton of great events that are happening every single month. Phoenix Startup Week is one of those ways, but that's not just a crowded room of people. They have a lot of presentations, things that you're gonna kind of want to take away. There are happy hours every night. Like I said, that's happening in February. There are also a number of incubators in town that are really great. So if you were looking to kind of get involved in a startup that seemed interesting, that you could add some technical skills to, or whatever it is that your skill set is. There's a Seed Spot out there. There are some other companies you can kind of go out and vet a lot of the startups that are getting started. But I think the best way is really to just start building relationships. There are a number of ASU students that actually just said, I want to start getting more involved in the startup ecosystem. And they came to me and I said, hey, just start volunteering and helping at different events, et cetera. And some of those people have been now hired by startups, have started startups themselves. Actually, one student, he started to then try and engage ASU as we were getting Phoenix Startup Week, and he became the first startup evangelist at Fulton School of Engineering. So there are a lot of different ways to get involved, but the best is just kind of diving in and meeting a lot of people that are within the startup ecosystem. So I'll give you my card. I'll shoot you a list of events you can attend, things like that. That would be a good place to start. What else?
It seems like if they're a lot of the incubators, accelerators, they're focusing on certain areas. Like some are like Cahoots is more social entrepreneurship, right? And I think
Seed Spot social entrepreneurship. Yeah.
What is now Cahoots is?
Mm-hmm. Cahoots is a co-working space in town that they have a lot of space for kind of freelance, but they also do a lot of cool stuff to help bridge the digital divide. So they have a foundation as well that will help kids learn how to code that don't necessarily have computers at home. So minorities, and they have the most minorities and females in their kids' code day than anywhere else in the nation. Which is pretty cool. So there are a lot of different, opportunities for sure. There are kind of hubs. Yeah, Cahoots is one, Desk Hub is one, Seed Spot's another, and there are more coming in downtown Phoenix as well.
It seems like they each have their own sort of style.
Yeah, the DNA.
Yeah, how do you know Wasabi Ventures?
What?
Wasabi Ventures?
What about them?
And just what they're doing. I just went and met with Jeff Abbott the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty good opportunity for students, I think, or for people that have gone through an incubator or an accelerator already and are then at the point of saying, how do I get this product built or how do I get this invested into? And so I think it fills an important gap that we have in the community. And basically they have school and they call it their academy. And you can take it online. You go, I think, once a week or so down for like a lunch and learn type thing in the Scottsdale area. But at the end of that 12-week program, they're looking for people that they make their entrepreneurs in residence. And what that means is whether it's a startup idea that they have or that you have, they are going to help you build that product and get it out to market with their resources. And then once you do, they'll invest in that company for the long haul.
Really helpful.
Yeah.
To just talk to them about possibly coming out and doing a presentation here.
Yeah, that's great. What else? Any other? Yeah.
What do you run startup?
I'm sorry, what?
What do you run startup?
What do I
Right in startup?
what do I like?
Yeah.
About startups in general, or a particular startup?
No, about
Just all startups? Well, I've been an entrepreneur since I was 11. Like it's in me. I can't necessarily recommend it to every person because it's hard. But it's really rewarding in that before I even knew what entrepreneurship was, I was fascinated by architecture. And so I think I've always had a fascination with building things, making them real, and translating what are essentially ideas or drawings or things you talk about, and then birthing those into reality and building something. I also like the aspect of doing that with people, with team members, building cultures. So those are all important things to me that I have the opportunity then to really do in startups. If you like structure, if you like process, if you like having a set definition of what it is that you're supposed to do every day and doing that over and over again, then startups are not for you. But if you like kind of defining what needs to be done, if you like problem solving, and problem solving, spans anything. I think, I was a vice president at GoDaddy for about 3.5 years as well, and had about 100 people under me and 12 product lines that I was responsible for. And I felt like I was an entrepreneur there. And, you'll probably hear the terms intrapreneurship, right? It's this idea of really still having this entrepreneurial attitude and problem-solving ability within the confines and structures of an existing organization. And so I think there are those organizations out there. I just think they're harder to find, where you have a lot more freedom and carte blanche to really, go after and make things happen. So, yeah, those are some of the things I like. I had one, that's a great question. I had one all-in-one communication solution, actually targeted towards kind of the church and ministry market, and had a great team. We raised $600,000, but we were trying to raise $1 million. So we had the product in market. It was built. We had a few hundred organizations using it. Everything was right on track with our budget and everything else, but we could not close the rest of our round. So we had a $400,000 gap. And we continued to try. What happened is we sold off the assets, essentially. No regrets. I mean, one thing leads onto the other. So then that led to me running a successful user experience design agency for 4 years. I enjoyed that, and it led me to where I am now. So I don't know. I never feel bad about it. I'm able to move on to the next thing, kind of just have to be able to set those things behind. And then one other was a mobile startup, and mobile's hard. It was great. It was an awesome product, great reviews. Everyone loved it. But distribution at the point to get it out to millions of people is just hard. So, yeah, those are some of the things.
It seems like there's, nowadays there's a lot of people going after an app, especially here in school. It just seems to
students think. Yeah.
It seems like the way you can really reach out and create something that touches a lot of people, right?
Mm-hmm.
That can help a lot of different people depending on what you're creating. But there is a difficulty in getting that.
Yeah,
Getting that.
I would say an app isn't a business, like an app in and of itself is not a business. So thinking through what is it that's the market opportunity and where does that extend unto? You really have to kind of look at a fuller picture. So I think the difference in entrepreneurs that kind of go big and bold and take moonshots is they care more about a problem than a particular solution. So a lot of people are like, I have a great idea. Well, an idea isn't worth much, but then let's say you get the idea out there and you execute it well even, it's still not that worth that much if that's all you care about, if you just care about this solution, some sort. You have to care more about the problem and I think the customer that you're serving. And so for me, like entrepreneurship being hard or starting a business being hard, tedious, and scary is what I care more about than a business in a box. The business in a box may change. Google, as an example, their mission statement is to index the world's information and make it accessible from anywhere. Now, we know them as a search company, and they have, natural search results and paid search results. You click on the paid search results, they make money. But if that's all they cared about, they'd be a very small company. But now they're making self-driving cars. They have fiber out there. They have drones. They're doing everything. And the reason is they cared more about this idea and this problem of index being accessible from anywhere. And so they're doing a lot of things to attack that problem. Yeah, I do. Yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. What? Yeah, sure. I got some SPHX stickers too. Who wants a hat? I brought a free hat. Who likes hats? You like hats? Yeah. Woo! Oh, I thought I had it. It was a long shot. If you like stickers too, you can pass those around. I got you one in the car. I'll get you one, Justin.
My motorcycle and my Alaska City Rules baseball.
Yeah.
It's getting a little worn out.
Any other questions?
Sure. Does your service also specialize in helping you with business development and like putting together the proper team?
No. So we are not an incubator, not an accelerator. We don't care anything about startup strategy. So our target market is really primarily professional service providers, doctors, people that know everything about their industry and are tired of working for somebody else. And the reason being entrepreneurship changes lives. But a lot of these people, they don't even know how to set up their email. They're emailing from like AOL.com and Cox.net and Hotmail.com. It's like Joe's Barbecue at Hotmail.com. And you're like, it's just like instant, discrediting of their legitimacy. So we don't do any of the strategy stuff, operational strategy. We don't do product market fit. That's not us. There's no bad idea for a lawyer. There's no bad idea for an accountant. Just get out there, do your service well, look professional, and you have a good business. Yeah. Yeah. What else?
How about just a little bit about how, I know you talked a little bit about the meeting up of the SPHX.
Yeah.
Like how that group happened. Was it Bob Elagio? Was he?
No.
Who were, how did that take place? It was in, you guys just got together.
Yeah, it was Miriam Martinez, myself, Dirk Beth. We're just having cigars, and I was like, you know what? We just need a hashtag and So they're like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I was like, okay. So just went home, wrote some copy, had my team put up a website, and that was that.
I know, like Mario, he's got huge reach. You had already had a big reach, and I don't know how that obviously must have played.
Yeah, I think people, I don't know, it caught on. Like, there were attempts, I guess, before maybe, but I think, yeah, it was just a good time. And then Phoenix Startup Week kind of helped catalyze that further. And yeah, we got everyone using it. Actually, the city of Phoenix now, anytime they talk about anything entrepreneurship related, they've licensed SPHX. So like that's the brand they use. We have a lot of the other cities supportive of that as well. So yeah.
How were the initial events?
What?
The initial happy hour.
How did that happen?
I mean, like how what was the turnout like? Because I mean now it's like 350 people showing up. And,
I don't know. It came after Phoenix Startup Week, so I think the first one still had like 200 or so people. Like first one, yeah.
But it came after Phoenix started.
Yeah.
Was last year the first one?
Mm-hmm.
Phoenix started.
Yep. Or this year, yeah. 2015.
Right.
Yep.
No, that was awesome. What was the dates for the next one?
February 22nd to 26th. If you want to learn about it, go to phxstartupweek.com. You can sign up for the email newsletter. Registration will go live mid-December. Like a lot of the schedule will go live. We have an awesome lineup. We're going to be all over. The closest to this campus that we will be on Tuesday, the 23rd. We're going to be at Infusionsoft. If you guys know Infusionsoft, it's right up the 202, right where it connects with the 101. They're a huge startup. They just received $50 million from Bain. They have nearly 1,000 employees. Really cool space. Literally an indoor football field, cereal bar. We're going to have a lot of the events. So that will be the closest day that we're to here. And then we will also be in Tempe on the 26th. But we're going to be all over town that week. And there's going to be a ton of stuff, a ton of content that might interest you. It is. Yep. Hundreds of events that you can take a look at. And
So those are
something for everyone.
Last time there was like a main hub for each town. Well, last time it seemed like there were multiple places.
Yeah, we'll be in 5 places.
Each day.
Oh, no, each day. 2 to 3 each day.
Is that about the same as what it was last year?
Yeah.
I mean, this year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What's the cost associated with
It's a completely free event. Just come, enjoy, get free food, free drinks at night. Awesome. Free is good, right? Thanks to our sponsors.
It was a great experience. When I went into the Melt Media one this year, Justin Grossman came in and spoke here
Yeah.
earlier this year, and yeah, it was meeting other people that were driven for same aspect, but then checking out the locations, hearing directly from those people, and then like the presentation there were 4 different people that came in to present on
Mhm. Yep.
It was awesome, man. The information that people I met there, and just
For
the
sure.
experience in general.
What else? Well, I appreciate all of you having me. If you have any questions, my contact info is easy to find online too. Just JonathanCottrell.com. Yeah, let me know if I can help. And if you're interested in getting involved in the startup scene, email me. I'll shoot you great events to be at and other people to meet. So thanks for being here. Yeah.